The Bible is a complex book. I'm holding in my hands the Lloyd Family Bible. I had the privilege of growing up with my father being a preacher, my mother being a godly woman who taught me many of the Bible stories, and I had great reinforcement at the congregation where I attended by the Bible school teachers there. I learned the stories of David and Goliath and Daniel in the lion's den and Jonah and the fish. But there was something missing. As I would read the Bible, I found that I couldn't understand it at the level that I wanted to. I wanted to know what those stories had to do with each other and what was the point of the Bible. The Bible was no doubt complex, but as I got older, what helped me at the beginning was learning that there were different kinds or genres of writing in Scripture. You don't read narrative the same way you would read poetry. You don't read the Proverbs the same way you read the parables. I also benefited from many of the other Bible students who said, look at the Bible as a single thought, and some of the thoughts offered were these. The Bible is about the preservation of the seed of Abraham to the coming of Christ. That helped me. Another man said, the Bible is about the coming of Christ for the salvation of man to the glory of God. Other people said, look at the Bible in divisions, and maybe you're familiar with the 12 divisions of Scripture. Some people have talked about the 3 ages, the patriarchal age, the Mosaic age, the Christian age. All of those were great Bible study tools that helped me as a Bible student. But one thing that helped me even more than those was to view the Bible as a story, as a single story. Yes, the Bible has 66 books. It was written by about 40 different men over a period of about 1,500 years. But still there is a something or other there that connects it. And the reason that is the case, as the Bible itself claims, is because it's God's story. It's not just 40 different men. The Bible is inspired. The Bible comes from God. God is the author of this great story. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you look at the beginning of Scripture, it begins with the beginning of all things, the creation of the world. The middle of the story of the Bible is the life of Jesus and the great emphasis on the resurrection of Jesus. And then the end of the story is the return of Jesus, the return of the King. Almost like in a play when the author comes out to take his final bow. Throughout this project, we'd like to break down the Bible, again like a play, into 6 different acts. Act 1 is the story of creation. Act 2 is the story of the fall. Act 3 is the story of Israel. Act 4 is the story of Jesus. Act 5 is the story of the church. And Act 6 is the story of the return of the King. Now here comes the exciting part. This is not just a great story. This is your story. If you are a Christian, you live in Act 5, the story of the church. Act 6 has not taken place yet. King Jesus has not returned for his bride yet. And so you and I live in Act 5. This is our story. This is our history as God's people. By the end of this project, you're going to know the story of the Bible. You're going to be able to understand better how the Old and New Testament complement each other and learn to view them in light of each other. And you're going to be able to be more informed as a Bible student. I hope that you'll continue with us as we move through this project. And until we talk next time, continue to pray as David did in Psalm 119, that God would open your eyes, that you may see wonderful things in his word.